Hi guys, welcome back. I'm standing up here today, and as you can see, pink card. I'm going to start my baby album, the little girls one. I've got two albums to do before Christmas, this one and a little boys one. But what I've actually got is the Knitwits pack. So I've cut out loads of pictures and things and using them in here. So what I've done is I've got everything ready and prepared. This is going to be an 8x8, so I've cut front and the back 8x8. The middle, I'm not too sure how I'd have done that. It is 1 7/8 and obviously by 8. Okay. I didn't want to make it great big back on it because of I don't think it's really worth it. I'm not going to be loading it up too much. That's for her to do herself. So I'm just going to do it that there's pages, and I've got 12 months to do, so this goes for the first year of the baby's life. But what I've done is I've made me hinges for the pages. Now the bit that actually sticks on the book onto the cover, I've marked that at 1 inch wide, and then in between each one of these is only 1/4 of an inch, and then the flap to hold the page in is 1/2 inch deep. Okay, so I didn't want it excessively wide, as you can see, but there's not going to be a lot on there. There's going to be pretty paper, obviously, and aside from that, it will be just something stuck on the top to place a photo behind. So I've got all that ready. So what I need to do now is cut this all out. Now I don't know if you can see this too well, probably because of the light on the. But what I've done, what I prefer to do, should I say, is I prefer to lay a mark down along the bottom edge and the side, and then so I know that when I lay that down like that, I've got lines to go across. Okay, I've got a guideline here, I've got a guideline here, so I know that that is straight. And then what I tend to do also is just template this on, mark around it all. I have a piece here. This is actually two bits of this grey board stuck together, and that is 1 millimetre thick. So I stuck 2 of those together, lay it in there for a space. Okay, when you come to sticking your card bits down, and then I've marked the middle bit and drawn around that, and then again the same with the other piece. And then all I've done is marked another line around this edge and another line across the top there, and then marked on the corners here where I'm going to be cutting it off. Okay, so I personally think you don't have to do it the same way. I know there's loads of different ways out there of doing this, but this is what I'm comfortable with. So as I said, I've marked all this, and these are going to fit on here quite nicely, and I'm actually going to glue these. You'll probably go, why? I know this glue doesn't show. I know the front's going to be decorated. And this is just how I do my albums. Tape is okay, but when you come to making an album that has got so much on the page and it makes it so heavy, it just kind of pulls the tape off and makes a mess of your pages. So I tend to go for the glue, because that way I know that in my head, I know it's going to be safe and it's not going anywhere. Okay, and with the glue, obviously you've got time like this just to move it around, make sure it's all in its lines where it should be. Give it a push down. And then just take the bone folder give it a good push down and even that glue out on the other side. Baby wipe, always handy, okay, for any glue spillages that you might have. Okay, now we're going to do the middle piece. Once this is all done, it comes together quite quickly. So let's stick this piece on. It took me time to cut these out and I had to find another knife. I went to use my knife to cut this grey board, and because it's quite thick, my knife must be getting old because it's just snapped the blade and I don't have any more, unfortunately. So I'm going to place that there and I'll put this piece in here up against there, okay, so I know where that has got to go. Okay, and as I said, my lines are on here anyway, so I know that it's going to be straight at the top and at the bottom. Okay, and then again, just give that a really good push down. Just making sure that it doesn't slip anywhere, because you need to give this a couple of minutes to kind of set. So just be careful if you do use the glue like me, that you kind of, once it's in place, make sure you hold it and it stays there where you want it to. And now back piece. You can put glue and tape on these if you prefer. If you think glue's not going to be enough or tape's not going to be enough, then use both. Why not? And then you've got extra security then, and you know it's where it should be. Again, I'm going to take my spacer, place it against that one, and then just push that up against there, like so. Okay, and I know that's in place where I want it to be. Okay, let's just make sure. Yep. And again, just use bone folder. Shows the edge a bit. I'll give it a really good push down. Like so. Now, I'm no expert at these. I worry every time I do an album now, and I've made loads of them, as you ladies probably know already. I still get scared when I do this. Simply because I don't like the idea that they might split. Oh, bugger. See, I've done it wrong already. I'm talking to you ladies. I forgot to put my tape down so the seams don't rip. This is Tyvek strips, okay. Get it in packets off of eBay. I think you get, there's 10 sheets in there. It's not very expensive. But what you are supposed to do with them is stick them to the paper first underneath there. And I haven't done that, so I'm going to have to be extremely careful with this. But I did get 2 pieces of large card, just in case. So if I'm careful, it will be okay. But if I start rushing it, then it's all going to go wrong. Right, so that's that. This is thick cards that I got from W.H. Smith's. I think it's like £1.59, something like that, for a big sheet. So I did grab 2, just in case I made a mistake. And you never know, I may have made that mistake already. Bear with me a second, because I'm trying to drink my tea as well. It's very hot in here at the moment. There's no windows open or anything, and the heating's not on, but I just seem to be extremely hot. Right, so I'm going to take my big scissors, and where I've marked all around this, I'm just going to cut it off quickly along those lines. It doesn't have to be perfect, because it will be on the inside underneath more paper. But try to get it as neat as you can, obviously, just for a better finish. Right, okay, so let's cut those 2 edges off. Let's stick that down there a minute. Okay, and then I've done these corners. I've marked the corners. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but I've marked them so it's about 1 millimetre away from the actual corner, if you can see that. Okay, so I'm just going to cut these off across here, leaving that little gap. It's better that you do it like this, because otherwise if you do it right up against that lip, then when you come to fold in the side and the bottom or the top, I'm just going to take another little bit off of there actually. Not as close as I would like it to be. It's so you can tuck in this corner and then stick the other edge. And the simplest for that is so you don't have the corner bits of your card sticking out on the corners, basically. Now, I know I'm going to be screamed at for this next bit as well, because again, I'm going to use glue. Again, I don't like using tape. Once it's all together and you keep bending the covers backwards and forwards, the tape tends to come unstuck. Doesn't matter what tape it is, but that's just my personal choice, as I said. Right, so I've done that, as you can see, them edges, and that's what I meant by leave a tiny bit on the corners there. Okay, so that's that, and then I'm going to use one of these little tools that you have for making your flowers. Or you probably have one in your scoreboard. Use a big edge, okay, so you don't split your paper. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run around all these edges, okay, just so it kind of scores it a little bit. And it just helps when you come to bending your paper up. Like that. And across this end. And I'm going to go down this edge. Okay, just quickly like that. And then what I use is not my big bone folder. I like to use my little one, this one, because that edge is very, very thin. And I like to use this because I like to get underneath the card and just gently, as you go along, where you've scored it against the card, it will start to fold up. Okay? And give that a nice push. And turn it round. Do the same on all sides. Okay, make sure you push down the edge of the card while you're doing it, because you don't want it to kink up and go funny. Okay, just push it in there gently, run it along the edge of the card, which helps to lift that up. Okay, and then once you pull it over, you'll have that nice, fresh, even look along the edge, and it won't look messy like you've tried to. Like we used to do in school when we used to be told, oh, you've got to go home and cover your history books, and you used to raid for all the old wallpaper and wrapping paper to cover all your books and things with. I don't know if any of you ladies used to do that. I'm going back a bit now. Now they tell you not to write on all your books and things. I remember when I was in school, I was told to do it. I was told to cover all our books and things. So when it came to me crafting and doing these albums, I was not a stranger. But obviously you just have to take your time and be a lot more careful. So I'm going to glue these. You ladies, as I said, you can put tape on it. You can put tape and glue on it. Okay, but I'm just going to tape them. And what you can do first, actually, is just pull that over like that. Okay, so you know where it's going to go. And I might do that around all sides, actually. But if you just pull that right back and help it along the way. like so. Okay, and you can give that a push down along the edges. Again, pull that back, push it over as tight as you can get it. Okay, and it will help when you come to sticking it. Right, okay, so what I like to do first is stick these side ones down. So I'm just going to get as close as I can in there. And don't forget to have a baby wipe handy. You're going to need it for the glue that comes out the edges. Make sure you've got plenty on there, okay, like that. And as I said, you can use your bone folder to ease it up to begin with. Give it a nice push against the side there. And that will make sure that the glue's in there and it's stuck down. And I just like to take my hand, okay, and then just roll it over. And make sure you push down towards the way it's going to go. And then to finish it off nicely, go over all them edges again. And just give it a really, really good push down. Okay, as you can see, I've got glue seeping out the edges. Not to worry, okay? And then run your bone folder along that edge there. Make sure you've got a nice flush edge, okay? And then while you've still got the glue's a bit wet on the card where it's seeped out the edges here, all I do is take my bone folder, push down on the top and kind of push round on the corner there, okay? Make sure you don't split the card, obviously. Get the glue out the way. And this is where you're going to get your nice finish, okay? And you'll get a nice finish on them corners. So I'll twist it round, do this side. Everybody makes albums differently. If you are new to making albums, I would say don't make nothing too fancy to begin with, because you are going to make mistakes. I've made hundreds of these albums and I still make mistakes. As you can see, I didn't stick my tie back on. So there's a good chance that when I come to bending this, it's going to split. But hey ho, these things happen, I suppose. Give that a good push down. And my bone folder's a bit dirty. It's a good job that this is going to be covered, isn't it? I don't know what that is on there. Oh, that's right, it's come off. Okay, and then again, make sure that's clean, not got glue all over it. Again, I'm just going to run that up and down there, and then just roll in my sides, my edges like that, okay? There we go. And then you know for a fact that that is going to be stuck over and you're not going to have the corner of your card sticking out. Okay, I'll just show you that a bit better on there. Okay, on that edge. So literally just roll it around that corner and tuck in that little flat bit. Okay, right, now I'm going to work along this edge. Now the longer edges are a bit more difficult. It's a bit more finicky to work with, just because it's longer. And you've also got to go across the three pieces as you bring it over. Take your time, don't rush. Sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong. Make sure you've got plenty of glue on there, or plenty of tape, whichever you're using. Okay, and then again, I'm going to start with this end. Okay, I'm just going to lift it up onto the card where it's supposed to be. Make sure you don't use anything with like too sharp edges when you're doing this, because you can go straight through your paper as well. Don't forget the paper gets wet from the glue. Okay, and then because I've marked that already, there we go, that should come over there very nicely. And again, just run that up and down the edge there, and then across the top there. Okay, and give it a really good push down. And there you have it. That's one side done. Okay, and as you can see, them corners are nice and neat, and you're not going to have there, see, and you're not going to have anything, no card bits sticking out the side. Let's stick this side down, and then comes the fun part of trying to actually bend it without splitting the paper. Now, I don't normally use this card because I make a lot of albums in black card, and I'm used to my card. I know how to sort of work it and move it and bend it to make it a bit more pliable. This card I've never used, but I don't very often do pink baby albums. This is my first one, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and just hope that we can bend these up a bit without it actually splitting and breaking. Okay, again, just pull that over nice and tightly. Take your foam folder, run it along that edge, then run it along that edge, and then give it a really good push down. Make sure you even out all the glue and that your book is nice and straight. Okay. Take the glue off the edge and give this side a really good push down. There we go. And take the glue off that edge. There you have it. Covered nicely. Okay. Now, this is where we're going to get tested. Oh, that glue don't want to stick there. That's what I mean by you need to give it a few minutes to just let it sit and dry off. But you can do that while you can chuck that to one side while you sit and make your hinges. But for the sake of this, I don't really have much time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and crease these as best as I can. What I might do is just give that little crease there. See, I don't want to push too hard because I know that the card will split. But if I can give that a little helping hand, like so, and just bend it up gradually, okay? Don't do it all in one go because the paper then will split. And mine's not wanting to go. But it allows you to run your bone folder across it a little bit deeper because it's already creasing. And allows you to move it up a little bit further. Okay, so just take your time and be very, very careful. There we go. Now, I don't think that has split. No, we're lucky, ladies, it's not split. So that's that side. And then we'll turn it round. Again, just in between where the cards, in between where your chipboard stuff is, or your grey board, whatever you like to use. Just give it a little crease. Don't push down on it. All you want to do is mark the paper without pushing down and breaking through. Hold your hand there and then just gradually moving it up and down. Move it up a little bit further each time you do it. Where it gets stiff, lay it down, run your bone folder across it again. That's been creasing, so it'll help you to fold it. And there we go. See, now that's lucky, ladies, that we have made that. Okay, and there's not any rips in that. So this card is quite durable. And as you can see, it looks lovely. You've got nice finished edges on there. Okay, and they're all nice and squared off. God, anyone would think you bought that in a shop. Professional jobs. Right, so that's that. And then what I am going to do is, now I've measured this out, okay, so I know it's all okay, and I know that that is going to fit in there perfectly. But what I want to do very quickly is take a smaller pair of scissors. I'm going to snip these corners off slightly, just to that line where it's going to stick to the book, because you don't want them sticking out over the pages. If you want to do smaller pages, might be easier if you're just starting out with this. You can make your covers so they're about 1/2 inch longer than your bit in the middle. I like to have mine exactly the same size, top and bottom. That is just my preference. And what I'm going to do quickly is lay this all down, okay, and then I'm going to put some tape across here, but I'm not going to put it on the 2 edge flaps, okay, and all I'm going to use is a bit of double-sided sticky tape. Put one on that side. Obviously don't go too close to your seam on the edge there, because you're going to be wanting to stick that down, and you don't want it to tug on the tape. And I'm just going to put one in the middle. I am going to glue this as well, but I just wanted to show you ladies, you know, that you can do both. Okay, I'll just chop those end bits off a little bit better. That's better. Okay, and then just give your tape pushed down like so. And then I'm going to tape the edges now, but I'm not going to take the tape off of these yet. I'll stick another one on there next to it. And for you ladies that are new and you're just starting out with these sorts of things, if you're going to take the tape option, you will want to buy it in different sizes. Okay, you can get 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 and 1 inch, I do believe, because I have one that is sort of 1 inch wide. Best stuff to get is this stuff, score tape, but it is very expensive, whereas double-sided tape you can buy anywhere and it's not going to cost you a fortune. I think I bought this tape out of, I think it was Hobbycraft actually, and I think it's like 99p a roll, so it's not too bad. Okay, just like that. And then again, give it a good push down, because you don't want it coming off. Like so. Okay. Right, and then what I like to do is, because of the purpose of using the tape, obviously, as I said, I'm going to leave these 2 flaps either side. I'm just going to take these 3 strips off in the middle. If I can get the backs off. There's one. Come on, stop being a pain. 2. Probably so much easier to lift this up with a knife, but I'm standing here and I've got long nails, so it doesn't really make a difference to me. And I like to just roll my fingers across the edges there, just to make sure if there is any slight overhang of glue, then you're going to stick it in, okay? And then what I'm going to do, I know the tape's on now, but I'm going to get some glue. It'll come out. Okay, and just roughly blot it along. Okay, like so. And then take that. Now this is the difficult bit, because I need to line this up perfectly with the top, and because it's cut the same size, I need to line it up perfectly with the bottom as well. Okay, it's kind of like sticking a jigsaw puzzle together, this, isn't it? Sometimes when you make these albums, you think, oh, everything's got to be so precise, and if you haven't got patience, don't bother, because it will try your patience. Okay, get that good push down, and all the glue is seeping out the ends. So again, take your baby wipe, just wipe it off like so. Okay, now they're all bent that way, so I'm going to bend them back the other way as well, which allows you to get into the creases if you do it one by one, just to make sure that it's all stuck down in the middle properly. Like so. Okay, and then again, any excess glue that's come out, just give it a wipe off. And there you have, it looks like that so far. Okay, but it's nicely matched up on the ends, and there's no overhang at all anywhere. As I said, just, you know, move your pages about, give them a really good push down in between. Okay, and take your baby wipe. Sorry, I do this a few times. I sort of bend the pages backwards and forwards, and just give them a really good push down in the middle, because you want to make sure that that is stuck to your album and it's not going to move anymore. Okay, it just gives it a nice even out. See, every time I do it, there's more glue seeping out. So. Can't actually remember what this is called. I think it's the hinge binding, I do believe. If I'm wrong, please correct me. My head is all over the place at the moment. I was hurting all day yesterday, so I've been on tablets, and it kind of makes your head go a bit wild and you can't remember a lot. I can't remember who done it. Please remind me who done it, ladies, if you can remember. Okay. Again, I won't put the lid on my glue yet. I need to have a seat though, because my back's starting to hurt bending over there. Please excuse the top. I know it doesn't really say very nice things, but it was kind of a joke thingy that we got when we was on holiday. And I kind of, because I'm not going to wear it out anywhere, obviously, because what it says, I just kind of put it on while I'm in here. So now that's done, what I'm going to do is bone folder. Where are you? Hang the end of that off from the glue, and then you'll see where the gap is, or the creases in your folder. Okay, so you want to be scoring that slightly. Okay, again, don't push too much because you are going to go straight through it. Okay, on that edge, and then I'm going to do the same again for this edge. I'm trying really not to rush, but do it as quick as I can, because you start rushing, that's when you're going to make mistakes. I'm really hoping that this is all going to come together without splitting. Fingers crossed, because I cut 4 strips here of Tyvek and I've not used one of them. So don't be like me and be silly and not use them. Right, so what I need to do is I need to take the back off of this tape. Come on, come off. 1, 2. Okay, and then I am just going to put a little bit of glue when it comes out. Need to get some more glue. It's because I keep using this glue and filling up my little bottles with it, these ones. So, and then lay that down, and then with your bone folder, again, give it a good push down. And some of that glue will help to, it will seep out the back side there, where the crease is, and it will help to stick it down nicely. Okay, again, as you can see, keep going over it until you're happy that it's stuck and it's nice and flat. I turn it around this way, and I'll take the backing off of these, if I can get it off. 2. Again, just put a little bit of glue on here just to help it stick. Lay that down on there. Okay. Give it a good push down. Like so. Try not to rub the glue everywhere because you'll get big dirty streaks across it. There you go. There you kind of have the start of your, once you've got this going properly, where the crease is here. As I said, this will actually be on show, so please, please take it very easy. You really, really do not want this to split. Okay, just bend it lightly. Okay, just keep running your bone folder across there like so. Okay. When you start to bend it, it will want to come up that way, away from where the hole is. So try and get your bone folder to stick the paper down inside that crease. Okay, and then just keep gently, gently moving it up, like so. Okay, and then again round this side. need to find where the crease is, which is there. Just gently score it across like that, and then very carefully start bending. And as you're bending, use your bone folder and keep pushing the card into that seam. Okay, like so. There we go. There you have it. Now, I've been lucky, ladies. That's not split. Okay. So there's that. Okay. There's the inside. Okay. And the outside. It's all nice and neat. All the edges are squared off. That's actually come out really, really well, considering I've never used that card before. It's got nice, neat edges on it, like a folder that you would have bought from the shop and paid a lot of money for. So, that's what I mean. You can get this kind of quality if you're patient and you take your time. Start rushing things, and that's when it all goes wrong. So, don't do it just because you think, oh yeah, I want something to do. No, plan it first. Make sure you're in the right mood for doing it. Otherwise, mistakes happen. Right. What I'm quickly going to do for these, I should have done this before I stuck it in as well, is I'm going to just take the edges off of these so I can get my pages on properly. And then we need to stick over the inside cover. So what I'm going to do, sorry ladies, bear with me 2 seconds because I've got a tiny pair of scissors, but they're outside. Right. Yeah, got the scissors. I'm going to use these tiny little ones, which are X-cut. Okay, and very carefully, I'm just going to aim that to the outside edge there and just cut them off at an angle. Okay, make sure you get them right down into where the edge of that folder is. I don't like making things easy for myself, do I? But that's okay. I've made this mistake plenty of times, so I know. You think I would learn by now, but I think you just have so much to worry about and what's going to go wrong when you do these things that you kind of miss something, and that's it. So there you have it. So all I've done is taken the edges off of these. I don't know if you can see there that they go in at an angle, both sides. Okay, and that's just to allow me to put the pages on easier. So that's that. Now we need to, because I know these are 8 by 8, the covers, okay, I need to cut 2 pieces. So let's get my trimmer out. And I'm going to do them 7 and 7/8. Now this card, I had this pack already, and I was really hoping that it was going to match, because I didn't want to be spending out loads of money on buying more card. And that is actually a perfect match, so we've done quite well with that one. They're 8 by 8, so I want to do 7 and 7/8. Okay, remember, save your pieces of card because they're going to come in handy later. We want to do 7 and 7/8 that way. Oh, come on there. Okay, and again, let's just make sure that's right before I cut any more. Now that should have about a 1mm gap all the way around the edges of that. It has. I'll get another piece out and do the same with that. 7 7/8, like so. Again, don't throw your scraps away because they come in handy later. Now, okay, you can throw these tiny little bits away if you're not going to use them, but big bits like that, don't throw them away because you can use them for backings, for cards and things. You kind of end up building up a great big box of like scrap pieces of paper, but that's good. It's handy to have. Okay, so let's bring this back in. Again, I'm going to glue. I am not going to use tape. Simply, that's my choice. So you ladies do what you feel is right and what you need to do. Everybody is different. Everybody uses different ways, and you do what you're comfortable in doing. There's plenty of videos and things out there on how to make albums and things, so you know, take your time, do some looking about first, and yeah, just try these different things and see what you prefer and what's right for you. Okay, that's that. Bone folder again. Okay, everything with the bone folder. Give it a good push down, even at that glue underneath. Be careful when you come to your edges that you don't crease it up by mistake. Sometimes you can get carried away going like that, and then you like screw it all up because the bone folder goes underneath the card instead of along the edge. There we go. Wipe off any glue that might be on there. That's that side. And then on this side. I don't really like working around this way, but I'm trying to do it this way so you ladies can see what I'm doing, because you can't really see over this side. And it's around there. That's that, and that's all in corners nicely where I want it to be. Make sure you don't stick the card over these creases that you've done as well to bend the covers up. Give that a really good push down. Okay, especially on these corners where you've got the double thickness of card, just make sure you give it a really, really good push down. And take your baby wipe, just wipe it along the edges so there's no glue spillages. Then I would put that to one side. Just make sure you are right and your paper's not going to interfere with the creases, like so. Okay, and there you have one covered album ready to stick your pages in and ready to go. So we're on 50 minutes now, ladies, so I'm going to leave that there, and we will continue in the next one. Okay, we'll start putting some pages in, and we need to decorate as well. So thanks for joining me. Take care, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.